Arsenal have had issues this season, Rory. Strikers injured, Saka injured, Marino having to play there. Do you think where you are right now is where you should be, given everything that's happened? Yeah,
probably. I can't think of really a team in recent history that's won a Premier League with the number of injuries that we've had and the number of significant injuries to significant players that we've had. So, to be honest, to be second, I think we've been a decent enough team throughout the season. We've not been played off the park by anyone this season, but we don't deserve to be close to Liverpool because we've thrown points away in certain games. And I look back to certain games, particularly like 2-0 up at Aston Villa, where we had plenty of our players available. We threw points away in those. So yeah, there's justifications for dropping points here, there and everywhere. Ultimately, we're second, which is great. We're 12 points off Liverpool, which is not where we want to be.
Do you think, Harry, obviously the gap between you and Liverpool is massive, and at the start of the season I thought it was your season. I didn't want to admit it because I didn't want it to happen. But I thought, given last season, and I think everyone it was weird, everyone sort of knew City maybe weren't going to be the City of old. But I look at Arsenal and I disagree with Rory, because I think you should be, and I know, right, losing Saka is like Liverpool losing Salah, right?
Well, they lost him in the cup final, didn't they? Based on that performance.
You know, he's got 0 non-penalty goals in like 15 finals. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Liverpool. But losing Saka was obviously going to be a big blow, obviously, and he would be a big blow if anyone was to lose their best player for that long. But do you not think Arsenal should have maybe been in a better position to deal with that if that did happen? Because it just feels like the options that Arsenal had to replace him, it's difficult to find a player that's going to be able to replace Saka that's going to be on his level, obviously. But it just feels like maybe you could have been a little bit better equipped if that was to happen, because Saka has had injury issues in the past.
Yeah, I've said it in the past. I think that you got to go back to last summer when Arsenal went into the transfer market. We all knew that they needed to reinforce in that attacking area, and they didn't do it. They brought Raheem Sterling in from you guys right at the end.
How's that gone?
Yeah, it's gone terribly. It's gone terribly. That's the reality of it. He's not contributed anything really when you think about his overall sort of time at the football club. But yeah, I do think Arsenal needed to do something last summer to boost that. What really frustrated me was that they then had an opportunity in January. So I'm not saying go and get the guy, because we know that it's not easy to do that in January. But go and get somebody in, even on a short-term deal, that is going to bolster your options. Because for the last few weeks, we've had no Saka, no Martinelli. Of course, he returned to the starting lineup yesterday, but we've been without him. We've had no Kai Havertz. That's our front three essentially out. And we're having to patch it up. Trossard being too heavily relied upon, Mikel Merino playing at centre forward. I think in answer to the original question, yes, where Arsenal are at, all things considered, is acceptable. But I feel like Rory, we've thrown away points. And I think when you look at some of those injuries, and I don't want to be critical of Mikel Arteta, because I think overall he's done a great job, but I don't think it's a coincidence that the two players that tore their hamstrings are the two players that we've leaned on the most, that we've overplayed, in my opinion, that we've not been able to give a break to. I think that was a contributing factor. So there is frustration, but it's hard because you want to go big on it, and then you look at the table and you go, but hold on a minute, we're second, and this wasn't even in the realm of possibility 2 years ago. We're here now, we're still in the Champions League, stop being negative. So it's a hard kind of balance to find.
I was just going to go at that, because a lot of the Gooners were phoning myself and Jay up on the sports bar, complaining before Saka's injury that he's overplaying. There was a game he played 90 minutes, I think, in the Carabao Cup game. You boys might be able to remind me who it was, where the game was won. It was a cup game early on in the season. And he's playing 90 minutes. And when to take someone away in warm weather training and Havertz and then rip the hamstring so badly that he's out and needs an operation, you have to look close at home. And I think that I think this is where Arne Slot deserves credit. If you look at the way that he has lent on Salah in equal measure, Salah's 32.
Yeah, 32, 33, something
right?
like that, yeah.
But he's managed his minutes. But if you look at the way that Salah plays, Salah doesn't help out Trent a lot. You know, Salah's got a job to do. Their midfield are so structured that it allows Salah to pick and choose when he decides to defend. But you look at his goals record, that's why they're going to win the Premier League, because Salah has stayed fit. Why?
Yeah.
Because I think the way he's been managed and with his minutes. And on a slot, I think Liverpool deserve credit for that.
If obviously the guys mentioned, you know, their focus is on the Champions League now. They know second place is pretty much nailed down. If Saka is back, do you give them a chance against Real Madrid, Jace? With or without Saka?
I've said this. I've seen Chelsea win the Champions League in moments where we weren't favourites to go on and win it. We simply weren't. Barcelona away going down to 10 men, all right? right? Everyone thought, once they went 1-0 up, Messi misses a penalty, you need a little bit of good fortune. In the final, Robin misses a penalty. I've watched it happen for my own club, so I know that the best team in that competition does not always win it.
Yeah, no, that's true.
Doesn't always win it. And you might have a refereeing decision. You might have an injury. I mean, who knows? What if Bellingham picks up an injury? What if Vinicius Junior picks up an injury going into those Arsenal? Funny things happen in football. Going back to your question, then it's do you rush Saka back?
No.
Right, what you want is him fit for next season. So there's that balance between whether Saka's fit enough to take any part. Personally, I can't see it. I don't see why you would.
No.
Unless he's doing training behind the scenes where he might be on the bench, might have 15 minutes in each leg, where he could do something special.
Well, the thing is with Bukayo Saka is that I think he's a lot further along the progression line than we know at the minute.
Yeah, that may well be true.
It's just a hunch, but there's a lot of positive talk about him being available for Real Madrid. We've got 2 games before we play the first leg against Real Madrid. If he can get 15 minutes, 20 minutes in each of those, then maybe there's a chance. And if he's there, then I think we got a chance. And to your point, if we get a refereeing decision, I promise you, I won't complain about any of the ones in the Premier
imagine
League
if one goes against
ever
them
again.
in a Champions League against. To be honest, I wouldn't
It
bank on
won't,
it
'cause
because
the
Real
officials are
Madrid,
decent.
Real Madrid get everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, you've watched Real
Yeah.
Madrid in the Champions League. Rory, do you actually believe that I suppose the question is, can Arsenal win the Champions League, or can realistically Arsenal win the Champions League? And I think they are two different things.
I think the answer to both is yes. I don't think it is as wildly unrealistic that Arsenal win it as people seem to suggest. I don't think people that saying we're going to get battered by Real Madrid. Arsenal don't get battered anymore, really, by anyone. And if you look at where Real Madrid have struggled, even against Atletico nullified them by setting up defensively. We know Arteta can do that in big games. We've heard this season, when Arsenal go to the Etihad, for example, people start comparing Arteta to Mourinho or Simeone because we do set up in those big away games with the objective of not conceding and then seeing what we can do on the break. So, yeah, it's possible that we do it. And if we beat Real Madrid, suddenly you're looking at Villa or PSG in the semis. Well, we've beaten both of them at some point this season. Barca in the final, why not?
Oh, no, see, I can't get on board with that.
I know you
I
want to
can't
get on board with it.
do you know what it is, right? Is coming from a team that's won it, not once, but twice. No, I think a lot of it is up here.
Did you win it or buy it? Sorry.
No, we won. We don't care, it's not my money. Won it. I think the difference is, like, on the pitch, anything can happen, right? Like you say, you can get a penalty decision, you can get a refereeing decision, go your way, go against you. You have to have a mentality, like it's different to win the Champions League. And I'm just not sure Arsenal have that. I don't know if I've seen enough over in Arteta's Arsenal, because in big moments they have come short.
I think that's
just
fair.
short.
I think that's
is
fair.
that hard? I don't know.
No, I think that's fair. Arsenal have come up short in big moments.
When it's really matters.
Yeah, but like I said, at that time, I'm talking about 2012, that Chelsea's team was listed with
the best
serial winners, but it wasn't the best Chelsea side. It wasn't the best version of that.
No,
it wasn't the best Didier Drogba.
No.
John Terry didn't play in the final. Ashley Cole was coming, towards it. Frank was, maturing at that time. But it'd be interesting to see, going back to that original point, it'd be interesting to see what Newcastle do this year, because they've now become winners. They've won a trophy. And that top 4 race, I think that is going to give them a huge acceleration to go in and a bit of self-belief. I think there is something in that Arteta. Have they got the mentality to go on and be the very, very best version of themselves in big moments? It might even be a 20-minute period. They might be up against it against Real at home, where something might happen in the game that's turned against them. There's a lot to be said and done in this Champions League. But in answer to the question, I think Arsenal can win it. I genuinely feel that Arsenal can. I hope they don't. They can.
Do you think what I said was harsh? Or do you think I have a point? Or do you think it's...
I think the point that Arsenal haven't got over the line, that's factual, right? I can't argue with that. But I do get frustrated when people question the mentality of this team, because they finished runners-up, they came back the next season, they went even stronger. And if you go back even prior to that, they just missed out on the top 4. Next season, they come back second, out of the blue, no one expected it. The season after that, they come second again, but take it to the final day. Okay, this season, they've fallen further afield, but as we've explained, they're not excuses, there are reasons for that. And I think if you can process those reasons and attribute them to where Arsenal are at and do it fairly and take again, I keep using the word tribalism, take that away for a minute and analyse it objectively. I think Arsenal are improving year upon year. This year, it's not gone the way we wanted it to go. But I would question a lot of things before I question the mentality. It's not mentality.
It's not.
Is it
I'm
quality? Yeah, in certain areas for sure.
There is.
I don't think
mentality,
you've
I
improved
would-
this year, though.
There is that thing about having a winning mentality. There is that thing of having winners in that team. And I saw it in my own club where you just knew Chelsea were going to go through again because they kind of reached the pinnacle. They've reached that goal. And I think once Arsenal do it, then
might
I
be
think
different,
I think
yeah.
going in, I think there's a different
You,
thing. But
you
right
get
now,
the winning mentality by winning. So I feel like we're kind of saying, well, they haven't got the winning mentality. They haven't got the winning mentality yet, but if they win it this year, then all of a sudden all of them have got the winning mentality. And I think a lot of them are young as well. So we look last year against Bayern in the quarterfinals, for a lot of our players, that was the first significant big European night they've had. Have they learned from that? Hopefully. It's an experience. So yeah, I think it's easy to say, oh, they're not winners. But they're all kind of, a lot of that team is not even hit their sort of prime age yet. A lot of them could be winners by the time they hit their prime, and then you're looking at a squad of prime players that have won it, and suddenly you're going, okay, they can win everything.